Hello, this is Jonathan, and I'm 37 years old. I live in San Jose, and my country is Costa Rica. And two hobbies, well, that I have is eating food from different countries. So I guess food is my hobby. And well, the countries that I visited in South America, I visited Chile and Peru. In Central America, I visited Panama, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala. North America, I visited Mexico. I've never been to the States, and I don't have a visa from the United States either. And I've been driving since 2005. And on my daily basis, I drive 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week. And in terms of experience, my career started back in 2005. And I taught ages from 6 to 12 because I was teaching in elementary school for 2 years back in 2013 and 2014. And I'm teaching adults, and these ages go from 17 to 20 and um, older than 20. Um, well, talking about my university experience, I have experience at the university teaching adults, and I've been part of programs, extracurricular programs in see science in the science fair. I was part of the logistics group that was organizing the fair, and I have some other experiences different from education. I've been um, working as an interpreter, and um, let me see. One of my strongest teaching quality, the human approach, is one of my strongest teaching quality. I consider it to be one of my keys in order, to enrich my career. It's been really useful and it has produced a lot of good results. Well, how would my colleagues describe me? Well, as a happy person, as a person who's trying to keep up with, the good humor and try to stay away from stress. The way I motivate my students is, I try to make them see what is the practical use of what they're learning, and I also make a comparison um, when they started and when they have finished a course to see how much progress they have done. I always try to remind them what is the process they have been through and all the progress they have done. And one of the things I do to control my students in class, well, remind them if they're doing something that is against the rules from school. Just try to remind them again. Go back, to the rules, or uh, that's the way I control uh, my students. And well, something that I do when I feel stressed, I try to do more physical activity, do something different from teaching, of course. One example when I can be flexible, it's for example if I have a student with a special situation and uh, talking about deadlines. For example, if they have a problem to get to the deadline in the project, well, I try to see the case of a student, and we can decide like if it is we can stick to the deadline, or if we can just help the student. I see the case and I try to use my human approach, as I previously said, which is necessary too, and it's very um, fundamental for a teacher. Well, in terms of technology and try to use projectors or whatever multimedia resource, well, I try to use it. I think that visual aids, they enrich the teaching experience, and it's a good experience for learners. At the same time, kids are overstimulated with technology. I think technology is playing an important role in as a tool to teach. So Implementing technology in a class is fundamental, or it's makes a class successful. Well, let me see. Define the natural approach. How do we define natural approach, and how do we use it in a second language? Well, it's easy. I think natural approach is emulating the process in which we learn our first language. We learn the first language not in a pragmatical way. Grammar and structure is not the main focus of the process. I think, uh, well, simulating a real situation makes a good natural approach whenever whenever a second language is taught. Well, some basic skills in order to teach in a class. Well, uh, first thing we need is create a realia. Uh, we need to have some elements that emulate reality and try to teach the language in an implicit way. The grammar is implicit. We don't focus on the structures. And um, I'm familiar with the Bloom's taxonomy. It's memorization and mimicking in a right, lower, and high order. Well, let's talk about memorization. Memorization is part of the theoretical part and part of the but one of the first steps in the methodology. And then mimicking is a part of the natural response, or one of the physical responses. We have one word, or we have vocabulary, and we have a physical response with that word. For example, run. I start doing this, and yeah, it's the right order. And let's see, creativity and comprehension. Well, is that the natural order, creativity or comprehension in a higher level? Well, creativity it's at the highest level rather than comprehension, because the first thing that we need is to understand, or to place ourselves in the understanding part, and then we are able to create. Well, I learned about phases from in a reference. Someone referred the program to me, and then I decided to apply. He was giving me really good references. His name is Edgar Villalobos, and let me see. Well, what is an important reason I should be considered as a candidate? Oh, to teach Spanish in the United States. One of the first things I have to say, it's about my experience. Experience, it's extremely important, and all different ages I've been teaching, all the different students profile, all you know, uh, kinds of students I've been teaching. I think experience is extremely crucial, and this is what I have, and willingness to teach. I really looking forward to have the experience of teaching in the States. It's something that I've been dreaming about for a very long time, and I think whenever I have the opportunity to teach, I'll just give nothing but my best. And this is the vision, the projection I have. Excellence. That's what I guarantee. Am I willing to commit for 3 years to teach in South Carolina, of course. I'll definitely love to teach in South Carolina for 3 years, of course. And two things that I would do in my class to represent my country. That's easy. Food, and that's one of my favorite parts. And well, any reference I can tell about my culture whenever we're learning a new word, try to place it in the context of my culture. And um, well, to answer the question, are you now under contract or soon will be finishing the contract in a way I can accept the position in the United States? Well, definitely yes. I talked to my director from my school. He's aware that I've been applying for this opportunity, and then he's been supporting that. So well, everything it's been set about the contract. And well, I'm teaching in a private institution, and in Costa Rica, it's not that hard. But when we're teaching with the government, with the Minister of Education, well, we usually are under contract, so it makes it hard. But in my case, it's a totally different story. I'm teaching in a private institution, so that'll be that'll be my availability and everything in terms of contract. And that's well everything that I have to tell about myself. And I'm really glad but to to be part of a program, or I'm really happy and excited for applying in this program. And I hope to be in touch with you really soon. And thank you for your time listening to me, and see you soon. Thank you.